fucking some kids fighting. I'm like, man, this goddamn country is going down the fucking toilet quickly. Why is it? If I want to walk around with a goddamn bird head on my fucking head and be like, I'm fucking trans species, that makes me crazy. But if I split my dick in half and tuck it up inside me and it makes me a fucking woman, no, it makes you crazy and you split your dick. I don't care. Have at it. I don't give a shit. But that don't make it normal, motherfucker. You're still crazy. And that's what that one kid that was fighting to use the girls, identify the girl.
Yeah.
I just want to be treated like I'm normal. But you're not normal. You want to be normal, just be normal.
Well, see, they've actually identified this. As what's happened is that the brain has developed one way and the body has developed another. So there's a disconnect. But instead of taking the logical route and going, hey, there's a disconnect. Something didn't develop right. There's a problem here. They go, oh, it's just normal now because that's how you identify. But like you said, if I identify as a bird man, dang it, I want to build my freaking nest where I want to build it.
Yeah, there's got to be bird baths wherever I work.
Leave me alone. I'm identifying. See, I mean, in this country, we've just in an attempt to be reasonable, we've lost all reason. Well, yeah, that's a reasonable request, and now everybody's just, just because lots of people do it doesn't make it right. I mean, look at smoking cigarettes. Everybody knows it's bad for you, but look how many people do it. I mean, just because lots of people do it, does that make it right? Of course not. Oh, a lot of people go murder other people, so that's normal. So is normal right? No.
We're destroying ourselves.
You're not wrong, Eric. And now I should probably actually turn and talk about this cigar that we've been raving about. Well, thanks for joining me in the shop here, and you hear a little bit of a discussion about how our country is rapidly progressing towards hell in what could be called a proverbial handbasket. But in light of that, today I've got a kind of an interesting cigar review today. Today I've got the Gurkha Samurai. Now this is not actually the Gurkha Samurai. Eric here was so gracious as to give me this cigar and told me it was a Gurkha Samurai. And I was like, hey, there's no Gurkha on this band, and they usually do that. And then we looked it up and realized it's not a Gurkha at all. It's actually produced by El Tatis, which actually does a lot of the Monte Cristo, Romeo and Juliet, H. Upmann things, and this is actually a JR Cigar exclusive. This is a Connecticut wrapper, which is very, very nicely rolled, as you can see right there. Very smooth, almost seamless in this wrapper. It's very, very very well constructed. So the binder is Connecticut. It's got Honduran and Nicaraguan filters, and then a Honduran binder. It's supposed to be pretty robust with lots of coffee tones. I'm imagining they were going for a little bit lighter wrapper just so they could get a little bit more of a balance from the Connecticut to the Honduran. So I'm going to do a cold draw on this and give it a light up here in one side. That's what human flesh tastes like.
It's like chicken.
I'm trying to do a cigar review.
Oh, my bad.
Jesus.
Where's your little sign? Why, please?
I need the golf signs. Quiet. So on this cold draw, I get just a lot of hay and not much else. Yeah, and that's about it. So I'm gonna light this up here. Here's my lighter. I will say this draw is pretty tight. I've got a really good sized hole in here, and this draw it's much tighter than what I expected it to be. But it's kind of got that signature Honduran spice. It's there pretty prevalent there in the background, that tannicness, and then something else that's pretty indistinguishable. I'm pretty excited about this to see where the complications go. So you know the drill. I'm going to get in the first third and be right back. So I am through the first third of this Gurkha Samurai. I've been kind of nursing it just a little bit to hold this ash on pretty well. You can see the ash is The ash is burning. The ash is burning pretty nice. It's only got a few spots of gray, so all that tobacco is being burned up. Doesn't seem like it's going to go anywhere too soon, but I'm gonna go ahead and tap this. Well, I made the mistake. I'm not going to tap it. Jeez, I thought this thing was just going to fall right off, man. So in that case, I'm going to let this ash keep going. It's already over an inch right now. You can see the burn lines there. It's not perfectly straight, but it's definitely not bad. That tannic flavor that I got in the beginning has turned into like a real dark, semi-sweet molasses that's just coming through real strong. It's got some really nice flavors of some like toasted bread there in the background as well. But yeah, for the most part, that real dark molasses is just kind of dominating everything. I feel like it's turning a little darker, like that sweetness is actually starting to go away. So I'm interested to see where this is going to go in the second third. So I'll be right back. Desperate times, man. So I am through the second third of this here Gurkha Samurai. It's not really a Gurkha. You see, it's got a little bit of a split going in it right there. I think the band was further up, and then it got hot, and then it just kind of split on there. I don't think it's making any real type of burn difference. See, the burn is still nice and pretty straight right there. As far as the draw goes, it's still pretty tight. I am getting some excellent smoke production, so it's really not that big of a deal. The flavors have turned towards lots of roasted coffee. That molasses sweetness is totally gone. It's got a little bit of a charcoaliness on the exhale. That ash got to about inch and a half and then fell down right on my lap. I was trying to let it go as far as possible, and it just didn't work out. So I'm going to go ahead and ash this before I end up with more ash all over me. So very happy with the cigar so far. It's burning nicely. I'm wondering if that split's if it's gonna keep going, or if it's gonna just kind of even out and stay there with the cigar. I'm wondering how far this one's actually gonna burn down as the flavors are turning kind of dark, with that charcoal kind of already showing through, that you get more so usually in like a last third of a cigar. So I'm gonna get here into the last third and be right back in 1 sec. Well, I am just about done with this Samurai. Like I said, these are a JR exclusive cigar. This was brought into me by a customer. You can see how that split just went real nasty, kind of tore up the wrapper. On the upside, the draw has loosened up considerably, and it's much easier to smoke now. The roll was real tight, and I think that's why I was getting having such a hard time drawing. It never really stopped burning though, so you know, that tight draw wasn't necessarily a problem, since the smoke production was still very good. Overall, the flavors I got here in this last third has just been real heavy on the wood, and not much else. I can still hold it here pretty close to the end, and it's not burning my fingers yet. So I would definitely rate this a mild to medium cigar. I was really kind of surprised with those real heavy spices coming out right at the beginning. I was expecting to go more dark, and because I had read about it, you know, being like a roasted coffee and flavors like that, that's kind of what I was expecting, but didn't really get that at all in this one. Like I said, the draw has opened up nice, and this is definitely a cigar I'll puff on for a little bit longer before I let it go out. So if you're not there already, brothersfindtobacco.com, and a big thank you for Eric to Eric for bringing this cigar in here for me to try. We've got our next cigar tasting coming up on November 27th, and yes, that is Black Friday. So after you're done running around and exhausting your feet, come in and stop by and take some relaxation and enjoy a free cigar. And as always, thank you for watching.